Old school talk, R&B, and hip hop. WPMM online radio.
Yeah, you are now tuned into the Truth with G. Inspire, educate, and uplift. If you can't handle the truth, this ain't the show for you. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So sit back, relax, and buckle up and enjoy this ride.
The Truth with G. The Truth with G. The Truth with G. All right. Welcome back to the show. You listen to The Truth with G on WPMM Internet Radio. I am your boy, Gerald Graham, also known as G. Once again, we are back to talk about the issues that matter to you and your community. Once again, I hope all is well with everyone. I hope everybody's having a great week. We're coming off the Christmas holiday. We are into Thursday of the week. Final days of 2022 that we are entering here. Hope that you're having a great week. I know some people are off on tomorrow, on Friday, for the New Year holiday. Some of you off on Monday. But whatever you're doing, I hope that you do it well. Do it safe. But it is Thursday. I want to thank you for tuning in right here on WPMM Internet Radio to The Truth with G. Tonight we're going to be talking about a couple things, three, four things tonight that I want to get into. And, we have to take care of all the particulars first before we get into all that. So let's go ahead and do that. Once again, welcome to the show. And we are live on WPMM Internet Radio, the website, WPMMradio.com. You can go to the website as well and download the app. This is known the app. It's a free app. Download the app. You can go to the Google Play Store, the Apple Store, and download the app as well. It is available for free. Free being the key word. And also, we at WPMM, we have the best R&B, jazz, talk, neo soul, independent hip hop, and old school music. Just listen from our website, again, WPMMradio.com. We are on TuneIn and iTunes Radio. Also on Alexa, you can tell Alexa to play WPMM. She will oblige as well. You can also download the Google app from the iPhone or Android, either one. Just type WPMM streaming live on. We are streaming live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. So we are on just about every platform there is. So make sure that you check us out. If you have someone who may not be as computer savvy and they're trying to listen to the show, just text them, WPMMradio.com. Just put that in the message field. All they have to do is click on it, hit play, and they can listen to the show as well. But if you're on Facebook, if you will, help your brother out. Go ahead and share. If you're listening on Facebook, go ahead and share it. Let's try to get as many people on as possible. It is the 29th of December. We have 2 more days remaining in the month of December and 2 more days remaining in the year 2022. So let's go out with a bang tonight. I want to hear from you tonight. We're going to open up the phone lines as well, 850-221-0396. If you're on Facebook, the number is scrolling across the bottom of your screen if you're watching on Facebook. But again, 850-221-0396. You can call in about anything, regardless of what I'm talking about. You can call in about anything that you want to talk about tonight. If you got something you want to say to close out 2022, call in with that as well. If you want to put your New Year's resolution out there, your New Year's resolution out there over the airwaves as well, you can do that. Again, 850-221-0396. The views and opinions expressed by the individual radio hosts are of their own and does not reflect the official policy or position of WPMM Radio. WPMM does not intend to align with any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything. That's what I have to say, so y'all don't try to sue me. And if you do try to sue me, you're not going to get anything out of me. 17 cents in that jelly jar I've been telling you for 2.5 years. 17 cents in the jelly jar is all I got. And if you try to sue me, enjoy the 17 cents. I'll even throw the jar in. But we're taking calls tonight. We're also taking your comments on Facebook. If you're listening on Facebook, put your comments in the comment section. We will definitely get to your comment as well. We'll read it out loud. And like I say, if you want to get in on the conversation, 850-221-0396. If you're out there, let me know you're out there. Hit the thumbs up, hit the heart, hit something. Hit something, let me know you're out there so I can acknowledge you. I know I have some closet listeners as well. So, I understand that my closet listeners may not want to be recognized, but I appreciate you listening. I tell everybody I have the greatest audience in the world, and I really do believe that. And I appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in on every Monday and Thursday, 6:00 p.m. And I know right now the game is on, and I don't know what the score is of the game. I don't want to know. I looked at it right before I left the house, and we wasn't looking good, but we'll see what happens. On the game tonight. So, but let's start out again. We're in the final days, the last 2 days of 2022, and just to kind of reflect back on 2022 before we move out into the new year. 2022 has been an interesting year. It's definitely been an interesting year. A lot has happened in this year, particularly locally here. We having issues going across the board locally. Our government is in chaos right now because of idiots that refuse to be realistic and be honest and truthful. And there's a lot going on. There's a lot of crime going on. There's a lot of domestic crimes, if you will. That's one of the topics we're going to talk about tonight. I know I put out a post about New Year's resolutions, about how people make these resolutions and within a couple of days they break them. So I decided some years ago that I would not make New Year's resolutions, because if I'm going to do something, I'm not going to wait till the new year to do it. When the time comes for me to take care of whatever that may be, I'm going to do it at that point in time. So, I just personally, not telling anybody else not to make New Year's resolution. It's just a personal thing for me. So I felt like I didn't have to wait for a new year to make a change or do something different. Every day I wake up is a new year, or if you will, for me. A new day is a new year for me. So every day I'm above ground, I feel like I'm blessed to be here another day to try to make a difference. And that's all I've been trying to do, particularly on the show. Just try to make a difference. I'm not a perfect person. I don't know all the answers. I don't have all the solutions to everything, but I'm just one of those people who care about the community and care about the well-being of people around me. And whatever little information that I have, I just personally like to share it with others. And that was the premise of this show. That's why this show came about, to inform, educate, and inspire people, just to gain knowledge, just to gain more wisdom about themselves. Just if I know something that you don't know, I'm happy to tell you. I get joy out of letting people know things that they need to know, and that's the reason for this show. And I appreciate each and every one of you for listening to the show as well. So, but once again, if you're out there, let me know you're out there. Hit a thumbs up, hit a heart, hit a whatever the case may be. Leave me a message as far as this year and how you've accomplished what you've accomplished this year and what you're looking to gain come next year. Put your comments in the comment section. Definitely want to hear from you. We are opening up the phone lines as well. 850-221-0396. 850-221-0396 is the number to call. And that number you can call about anything. Call, give shouts out to, your people for New Year's or whatever case you want to do. Whatever you want to do, just give me a call and I will pause whatever I'm talking about at the time. And we're going to acknowledge what you want to talk about. Again, 850-221-0396. The number is scrolling across the screen if you are listening on Facebook. is at the bottom of the screen. So, couple things that I want to talk about today. I want to talk about this food stamp shenanigans that took place in the city of Pensacola this past Monday, I believe it was. What's today? Thursday? Yeah, I believe it was Monday. It was Monday. Food stamp shenanigans, food stamp foolishness. And I know that particular night I had posted a post that saying I was going to go live, but I'm going to wait. But I believe it was Thursday night, Monday night that this took place. And it's so foolish. It is so disheartening, if you will. And I was desperately trying to avoid this topic and talk about it because of how idiotic it is and how, oh Jesus, I'm trying to find the right adjectives to explain it, and the adverbs and pronouns or whatever particular word in the English language I need to describe this fiasco, if you will. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, on this past Monday, apparently, and if somebody knows more than I do, please let me know, 850-221-0396. But apparently, this past Monday, I guess things had reached a peak, if you will, in regards to two individuals that were engaging in what is technically illegal activity in the sale of food stamps. And I know we still call them food stamps, even though they're not the old paper stamps that we used to get back in the day. And yes, I said we, because, when I was a kid, I remember having food stamps or whatever. Those food stamps made a big difference in a upbringing. So I know how important they are, especially when you are struggling, when you're a working parent and the money you're making is not enough to feed your kids, and you need that little assistance. So I fully understand the benefit of food stamps. But we had two individuals that wanted to take part in criminal activity. And I'm gonna call it what it is: criminal activity in the sale of food stamps. Mr. John Adams has joined us. What's going on, Mr. John? Good to see you on. Good to see you on. Like I said, if you're out there, and let me know you're out there. But they decided that they wanted to. Mr. Khrushchev, what's going on, buddy? Good to see you on here as well. These two individuals decided that they wanted to sell. One of them wanted to sell food stamps. The other one was going to buy food stamps, or whatever the case may be. Whatever the transaction was, my understanding, and if I'm wrong, somebody correct me. Somebody please correct me. My understanding that they sold $300 worth of food stamps for $150. The individual that bought the food stamps, instead of spending $300, he spent everything that was on the card. Like I say, back in the day, we got the little paper stamps. Now they give you the food stamp card. But apparently she spent everything on the card, and I heard a number of $4 that was remaining on the card as far as the balance or whatever the case may be. So it ensued from that point, and it escalated to the point to where my understanding that these individuals were going back and forth, talking about fighting and this, that, and other. I even saw or heard, if you will, that the police were called in regards to the person, using the $700 worth of food stamps. But if a call was made, and I can't confirm that, Mr. Adams said, "Didn't I tell you not to tell me to score?" See, Mr. John, he one of them Pine Forest students. He don't understand. He just refused to do right. He just refused to do right because his Gators got tore out the frame in they game. He a little salty, so he gonna try to rub a little salt in my game tonight. So, but that's Mr. John. That's a good dude. But anyway, back to the food stamp shenanigans. If you're just joining us, we're talking about this food stamp fiasco that took place. Anyway, criminal activity took place. Purchased food stamps from the other. The one girl took too much. They were going to fight, and this apparently was taking place on. It was taking place on the over Facebook or whatever media platform that they were using to beef with each other, and I guess they had decided that they were going to meet up and fight at the Bristol Park here in Montclair area. And we had individuals that were showing up at the Bristol Park anticipating the fight, to see the fight between two people who engaged in illegal activity. So we had young folks and grown folks, apparently, that I'm being told showed up at the park at the allotted time that they were supposed to fight. However, apparently this fiasco, this embarrassment of a situation attracted the attention of our sheriff department. So not only did people show up to watch the fight, the sheriff department, Chip Simmons, obviously, whoever made the call, sent sheriff deputies out there. And my understanding that the sheriff deputies was out there 8-10 deep as far as vehicles. And they were out there to thwart any efforts to cause any type of problems or to keep these people from going out there and fighting in a public park where kids are supposed to be out there playing. I'm gonna take my hat off to Chip Simmons. I don't know if he made the call, but he's the sheriff. He is the sheriff. Mr. Parker, what's going on, dude? What's going on, Mr. Parker? Good to see you on here. Talking food stamp fiasco tonight. But again, I'm going to take my hat off to Chip Simmons. Y'all know that I'm not a fan of the police because of the activity that the police engage in that I see every single day in videos. So I'm not a big fan of the police, but in this case, I have to applaud Chip Simmons or whoever made the call to deploy sheriff deputies to that location to make sure that nothing jumped off. And that's a situation where we're being proactive, where they had information to where some type of illegal assaults were going to take place, or whatever the case may be, that a crowd may be gathering for the purpose of watching individuals assault each other. And he acted upon it. So my hat's off to Chip Simmons for being proactive in that particular situation. And it was embarrassing. It was simply embarrassing for these individuals to carry on as such. And one, you're carrying on about an illegal activity. If somebody called the police and reported somebody for, stealing your food stamps after you illegally sold them to somebody, that was not a very smart thing. I don't know who was involved. I don't know any names of people that was involved in this situation. I don't know who they are, who they people are, nothing. I don't have any names. I'm just commenting on the situation itself, on the situation. It was embarrassing. It was completely embarrassing. And every time that Pensacola get recognition for something, it's for something stupid. And, somebody said that, Pensacola was going to make it again for Donkey of the Day, where, what's his name, Charlemagne or whoever he is, do Donkey of the Day. And, it was just simply embarrassing for these people to take place in this. It's illegal to sell food stamps. It's illegal. Can you go to jail for selling food stamps? Yes, you can. Can you be banned from ever receiving food stamps again in your life? Yes, you can. And these food stamps are for these kids. That's what's really the bad part. The food stamps are for the kids. The food stamps were not designed to take care of grown folks, even though the system has made adjustments to where grown people can get food assistance without having a child under certain conditions. But the food stamp program came about to help these kids make sure that they stay fed. And we have people out here that are selling these food stamps, and they sell them food stamps, and they take the money, and they're selling food from under their own kids in their own situation, and they take the money to do everything but take care of the kids. Yeah, I'm telling it, and you can't tell me that I'm wrong. People sell their food stamps to go buy purses, to go to the club, to get their hair done, to get their nails done. They selling food stamps to do this type of thing. And that's not how the system is supposed to work. Mr. Parker says, I hate that this community take more stock in something such as this. So many other things we can pour our attention into, but we trying to make World Star instead of making changes. You are exactly right about that. And Mr. Adams told he said he should have given them boxing gloves. Crack grass don't care. Crack heads don't care. Okay, I got you. But yeah, it's it's crazy because we had grown folks. We have grown folks pulling up at Bristol Park. Grown people. And obviously the young kids gonna show up and do whatever they do. But we had grown folks that was pulling up at this park, and not in that anticipation of trying to keep these young folks from acting a damn fool. They were showing up to be spectators in this travesty, if you will. And that's even more sad. Now, if I tried to advertise a rally or a meeting about the issues that overtakes our communities, about the things that we need to do to make our community better, or to discuss politics, or discuss voting, or to educate people on what's going on around. If I tried to throw a meeting on that and I put it out there on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok or whatever, at the end of the day, I might get a handful of people. I might get 10, 15 people show up. But these two people advertise a fight over some damn food stamps, and we have people that's pulling up to witness this. But you can't show up to do something simple as vote. You can't show up to do things as simple as educate yourself. And that's saddening. That's kind of heartbreaking. I'm embarrassed. I don't know how else to say it. And I was going to talk about this on Monday night, and I said I would refrain until tonight. There was a couple of people that were encouraging me to talk about it on Monday, and I just refrained because if I had talked about it on Monday, I would have used some words that I probably shouldn't have used toward people, or whatever the case may be. So I wanted to take a moment to consider and think about what I was going to say about this situation. I'm still embarrassed. Trust me, I'm not using the words now that I would have used on Monday. I promise you I'm not. But I'm embarrassed. And Mr. Parker, hit the nail on the head. 850-221-0396 is the number to call if you want to talk about this or anything. Give a shout out to anybody, tell your New Year's resolution or whatever the case may be. Anything that you want to talk about, 850-221-0396 is the number to call, taking your phone calls tonight. But if you're just joining us, we're talking about the food stamp. I do want to hear from, I want another perspective. I want another person's thoughts on this situation. So I'm encouraging, I'm somebody gonna call me here. 850-221-0396. I want to hear somebody else's perspective on this situation, because I don't want to be the only one sitting here saying, or trying to say that my thoughts and my opinions are correct, because these are just my thoughts and opinions. But I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for my people. I'm embarrassed for the city of Pensacola. I'm embarrassed for the children that were affected by this illegal activity. I'm embarrassed, and I want my people to do better. I want to see people grow and prosper and do well or whatever. And I'm not saying in the aspect of being rich and famous or whatever the case may be, because I'm so far from being rich and ain't never been famous. But I'm happy. I'm whole. I'm living a life of where I don't have to look over my back and I'm doing illegal stuff or whatever the case may be. To me, that's a success, regardless of, I may work for, $2.35 an hour, but hell, at least it's an honest $2.35 an hour. But 850-221-0396. 850-221-0396. Who's gonna call? Who's gonna call and get in on this conversation? I'm waiting on you. But also with this food stamp debacle, and I don't, and I heard this last night, and I haven't been able to verify this, but my understanding is that there was a GoFundMe started for the individual that sold the food stamps, or whatever the case may be, or let somebody else use. Shit, I'm not going to be stupid. Not going to be stupid. We're going to call it what it is. They sold the food stamps, and my understanding, there was a GoFundMe started for this individual to get their money back. And I cannot understand why. I can understand from the aspect of trying to get these funds back so the kids can eat, but we're funding illegal activity at that point. I don't understand that. I don't know who was behind the GoFundMe or whatever the case may be, but I when I heard that, I kind of cringed when I heard that. So, but I have someone on the line with me. Who I got tonight?
What's going on, G?
What's going on, Mr. John?
Not much, man. Sitting up here watching your Seminoles just
man,
losing their own state, man.
Look, man, we ain't talking about the Seminoles tonight. You
don't want to. You don't want to. That's why.
We talking food stamps tonight. We ain't talking about this.
Man, look, you wasting your time, man. People gonna be peoples, man. So just, you know what I mean? They gonna do stupid stuff, and we gonna watch them do stupid stuff. So, So I'm just trying to get the bullet points of this. So somebody stole some food stamps, right?
Well,
somebody, right?
What it was is again, my understanding that there was an individual that received food stamps.
Mm-hmm.
They in turn sold somebody $300 worth of food stamps for $150.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently they either gave that person their card or gave the people their card number or whatever the case may be, and that person went and used the card, and instead of using $300 that they purchased, they used $700. And when that girl found out that she used $700 and left her with a $4 balance on the card, then they want to fight. And that led to the back and forth on social media, where they was going to meet up at Bristol Park and they were going to fight, and that led to taxpayer dollars being spent to deploy the sheriff department 10 cars deep to the Bristol Park at the time that this fight was supposed to be happening, to keep this fiasco from taking place. So that's the gist of it.
Well, like you said, first of all, hats off to Sheriff Simmons for keeping up with social media, man. That's one good thing.
Right.
But I always thought those cards had a limit, so it's not unlimited. So how can she go spend $700 on a $300 card? I don't get it.
No, it wasn't a $300 card. It was it was that she was only buying $300 worth of food stamp. As far as the food stamp process, yeah, trust me, there's families getting upwards almost $2,000 a month in food stamps.
Right.
So
I'm just trying to figure out how is. So she took $150 and bought a $300 food stamp card, right?
Right.
So how can she go to the store and spend $700?
Because the balance, whatever the balance is on that card, that's what's available. She was only supposed to, honor among thieves, say that if you buy 300, you're only supposed to use 300. But the balance is more. That's just like having, you give somebody your debit card and you got $1,000 in the bank, but you say, here's my debit card, only spend 200. So they can spend whatever that balance is on the card. So apparently she had $700 some of balance on that card, and the girl spent it all.
Well, she was her ass anyway. She thinks she's just gonna spend some of her, just spend $300 and more.
You're breaking up a little bit, John. You kind of sound like you're muffled.
She was just dumb anyway for thinking she gonna just spend $300.
Well, with this food stamp game, been going on a long time, and like I say, they're supposed to be honor amongst thieves in this process.
Okay.
So people that engage in this type of activity, normally they do what they supposed to do because they want to continue to reap the benefits.
Oh, okay. I get it. But she just, yeah.
So she just went all out, and whoever it was, and got all the steaks and all the crab legs and all the stuff that she can get with it. And then after it was discovered that the balance was gone, then they go to social media and want to fight, and setting up a fight like elementary school kids that will say we're gonna meet after school and we're gonna fight. I mean, the whole thing is simply embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
It's embarrassing.
I see. It is embarrassing.
And then for our taxpayer dollars to get caught up in this mess, because for them to deploy 8 to 10 sheriff deputies to that part to stop these idiots from being idiots, that's it's embarrassing. And just Mr. Simmons have joined us. What's going on, my brother? Larry Simmons, we do have our phone lines open. I know you had expressed the fact that you wanted to chime in. We're talking about this food stamp debacle here. So if you want to give us a call, once I finish with Mr. John, that's
yeah. Okay.
That's
no, I just wanted to clarify that. But yeah, that was stupid, man. But people are gonna be people, so you just gotta just shake your head, nod your head, or whatever. So I'm gonna go on to the side here, let somebody else call in. But man, I'll hit you later on, man.
All right, brother. I appreciate you listening. Appreciate you calling in.
Third quarter started. All right, man. Talk to you later.
All right.
All right. Later.
All right, that was Mr. John. We were talking about this food stamp debacle that took place on Monday. But again, if you're going to call Mr. Parker, 850-221-0396. Mr. Parker, I want you to call in because I know you got something interesting to say about this food stamp situation. Give me a call because I know you got a educated word going on. So give me a call, 850-221-0396. Just a recap on this this food stamp debacle on this Monday. Apparently, the illegal activity of selling food stamps took place. One person supposedly purchased $300 worth of food stamps. Instead of spending $300, they spent $700. This is my understanding of what took place. Once the person that sold the food stamps figured out that the person that bought the food stamps had used more than what she purchased, they took to social media and they wanted to. They were setting up a fight. They were supposed to fight each other, They were put it out there that they was going to meet at a certain time at Bristol Park over near Montclair area, and they were going to fight. Apparently, the sheriff department got wind of this because, again, it was being posted on social media. Chip Simmons deployed sheriff deputies to that area for that period of time where this fight was supposed to take place. And obviously the fight did not take place because of the actions of the sheriff department. If the sheriff department wasn't there, I can imagine. I can only imagine what would have happened. I can only imagine what type of crowds would have been out there to witness this embarrassment. But let's see. Well, I have another call on the line. Who I got with me tonight? Caller, you there?
Hello?
Caller, are you with me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mr. Parker.
What's up, G?
I can't call it, man. I'm embarrassed. My people embarrassed me over some food stamps.
Hey, man, listen, that ain't even the embarrassing part. I can understand the young lady upset. She did what she thought she had to do for her kids for Christmas. It's a bigger issue in that. What I'm upset is the time and attention that all these Negroes are taking to this.
Yeah, that's the sad part. That's the real sad part.
Like it makes absolutely no sense. Instead of clowning her, making her mean, help her. Because at the end of the day, her kids still need something to eat. I mean, that's it in a nutshell.
And let me ask you this question because you're saying help them. Which one need the most help? The one that made the purchase or the one that made the sale?
So the young lady with the kids, the reason she need the help.
Okay, so she was selling them for the purpose of getting her kids Christmas, man. Is that what you understand?
I yes, but in that lies a bigger issue. So we dealing with a lot of it's a lot of poor people making really bad decisions with the things that are, I don't want to say given to them, but to make life a little bit easier for them.
Right.
The problem that I see, man, when it comes to food stamps, man, I'm that guy, because I work hard. I pay taxes. My taxes go to these government programs that fund food stamps.
Right.
But still, I have to reach into the hard-earned money that I made to take even more money out to feed me and my family.
Right.
So I feel some sort of way about food stamps already.
Yeah, I'm the same way because I go in the store. I can get the little small shopping cart or the little hand basket and go in and get what I get. And I see people that are receiving these food stamps having 2 and 3 baskets full of food. And I'm like,
see them all the time.
I feel some kind of way. And I'm like, I'm struggling to get this little bit in this little carry basket. And they walking out of here with all this food. And it's like, it just make you feel some kind of way. And then for people to abuse the situation, you playing with my money first, and then you're bartering for something else because you have this that's given to you. I hate the whole food stamp system. I think you should be on food stamps for a minute, and then you need to be off of them. You can't just wake up every day for 18 years of your little shorty life and be on food stamps. Like,
unless you have a condition, some type of handicap that's preventing you from working, preventing you from getting your education. Like, it should be a cutoff. It got to be a cutoff.
Well, you know that I'm on. Not to tell my business, but I'm on the behind the scenes part of that whole food stamp situation, right? So I see it. I see it every day. I see it. I see people that need that little help, if you will, where they're trying to do, but what they're doing is just not enough, and they need a little assistance. And then I see people that just not doing anything.
And it's the people that needs help that we as a people we shun upon because we don't know who's who now. And so when you have somebody that's abusing the system, like let me rewind that. When you have somebody who needs it, maybe this person had life fell on hard times, this, that, and the third, stop making babies. You don't need another kid, and then another kid, and then another kid, and then another kid. You can't even buy your kids Christmas presents. Chill out with having them because you're on assistance already. There should be something about that because there is nothing preventing these people from having babies. I met a young lady when I was working with BCF as a CPI investigator. She said her whole thing in life is to have more kids for tax credits.
Wow.
Because she don't have to do anything else but have babies. She was working on baby number 8 at the time, and we have removed every last one of her kids. And every last one of her kids went to somebody who in her family, and they were benefiting from the system.
Right.
It's like I just don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Well, I there's a lot I don't understand, and I see it every day. I literally see it every single day. And I don't with these food stamps, like I say, it's the kids that's suffering. The kids didn't ask to be here. That food stamp program was set up for the supplemental nutrition of these children. That's when it was originally set up. It has evolved into something else. And Mr. John said we sound like Republicans, but Republicans want it cut off altogether.
Hey, listen, I'm not a Republican. What I am is a card-carrying member of this here society, and I pay taxes. And if you got somebody that's just laid up doing nothing, making babies, and mooching off of me, then I should too be able to mooch off of somebody, or I should be able to say, you know what, I don't want my money going to that government program. This is where I want my money going to, if you're gonna take it out.
And with the way the system is set up right now, prior to COVID, the food stamp system was set up to where, one of the requirements were having kids. If you were in what they call an able-bodied adult, there were certain work requirements that had to be met. If you did not meet those work requirements and you did not have any kids, your food assistance can and will be cut off if you don't meet that work requirement as far as looking for employment, being registered through job services and things of that nature. However, with the inception of COVID, once COVID took over and that situation went down, or whatever the case may be, the policy changed to where they are still tracking these able-bodied adults, but at this point they're allowing them to have food assistance without the work requirement. Now, just recently, they started back the work requirement, but you can receive food assistance for up to 4 months with satisfying that work requirement, then you have to register or apply again for it to be reinstated, and again you still have to satisfy that job requirement. But like I say, I'm all for people getting help that need it, but I'm against the fact that you are using the system as your livelihood.
You know what? Back in November, my brother Aaron Watson, he does the turkey drive.
Right. Yeah. I
gives out 1,000 turkeys, 1,000 turkey dinners.
For 2 years, I threw turkeys, with him.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it this past year, but to the prior 2 years, I was out there throwing turkeys with him.
Right. So I was sitting there, and I've been with him for like the last 4 years, and every year I get so frustrated at the amount of people that come through the line who would rather take a free turkey than go buy a turkey.
Right.
Because they have the means to buy a turkey.
Right. And that whole program is
I live out in Beulah. I've seen three of my neighbors, and I know they doing well off because they're in the military. And they come through the line.
Yeah.
And I'm just looking at it like, wow, you've just taken away from at least 3 families.
Right. Yeah, and like I say, those type programs are set up for people that are in need. And yeah, the greed in society tend to make people go out and where we're trying to get a hand up to people, people that don't need that assistance. They the first one in line. Trust me, I've seen it. And then,
oh no, but that's my bird, Mr. Adams.
and then I called out one lady 2 years ago. I called out because she tried to come through the line twice, and then she tried to lie to me and tell me that wasn't her second time through the line. I'm getting old, and my memory is, there's some things I forget. But damn it, if you come through a line at 12:15. And then you come back in the line at 12:30, I'm gonna remember you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially if I open up your trunk and closed it.
Yeah, and she gonna tell me that was her first time through, and I after arguing with her for about a couple minutes, I was like, "That's between you and God. That's between you and God." I said, I know what you did. You know what you did. If you want to go ahead and go through this line, that's between you and God. You have to answer to God for that. And she ended up pulling out the line because I guess I made her feel bad.
Right.
But I shouldn't have to do that.
Right.
And the sad part about it, she was driving a Benz.
I know. Man, you should have seen the amount of people came through there, man. I'm talking about people I work with at the jail coming through the line. Like it's crazy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But Watson, he's trying to do good things, and help people, and we just have to do better. And Mr. Adams going off on here. He wrote, my mother and her husband are in their 80s, and they work hard all their lives on Social Security and only get $5 a month in stamps. Yeah. All that whole program is set up on your income versus the number of people in your household versus your expenses and things of that nature. There's a formula that everything goes by to determine what you get or what you don't get. So,
right.
So Mr. Adams, I'm assuming that, with the income of your parents there, their income, there's a standard, if you will. Based on the situation where if you exceed that standard, then you're not eligible. If you're below that standard, then you qualify for, up to 200 and I forgot what it is, 200, dang it, I'm supposed to know that number, but it's 200 and $30 or whatever a person. So, but you know, it's all based on your situation.
Yeah. That's. I mean, which is cool. Listen, I by no mean, and am I saying that, you know, if you're poor, you need to be this, that, and third. What I'm saying is I work too. I work so you can have, and to abuse what I worked hard for so you can have, it got to be cut off. You got to be cut off,
Right.
because now you bartering with my money.
Right. And people don't understand that. You can't. And I know the food stamp game is out there, and it's hard and heavy. It's a lucrative business for people. You know, that's trying to get that little extra cash versus getting the food stamps, but it's illegal.
Right.
And if you get caught, you're going to be banned forever from receiving food stamps again. So, but what took place on Monday was just a complete embarrassment to me. It was a just a show of I don't give a fuck, basically. I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
And it's, you know, and then to put all this on social media, you know, you putting your crimes out there on social media, and then whoever did you heard about the GoFundMe?
No, it's a GoFundMe.
My understanding, and I'm not gonna call in names because I haven't vetted the situation, but I was told, and I actually saw something on social media, but I kind of, when I go through social media, I kind of just scroll and I don't read a lot of stuff. I just kind of scroll through it, and I saw something, but I didn't see it. So I know something was going on. Somebody started a GoFundMe for the young lady that sold the food stamps, and people were contributing to that GoFundMe. And my take on that is, you know, so now we're rewarding the criminal activity of selling food stamps, and then somebody getting the best of you once you done illegally sold your food stamp. So I didn't understand that whole situation. I don't know who started the GoFundMe. I don't know who was behind that, but you know, I totally did not agree with it.
You know, at the end of the day, when you do the GoFundMe, you're thinking about doing a good deed, and I'm totally cool with that. I'm totally cool with the GoFundMe. I get it. I understand. She's in survival mode, and if somebody can help her out, great. But it's going to be a larger problem, because now she's always going to be depending on others to take care of her and her children. When the GoFundMe money run out, then what?
But you know, I can't be that sympathetic for her. I feel sorry for the kids, but I can't be that sympathetic, because one, if you did this, if you sold your food stamps and the person you sold them to got the best of you, why are you taking to social media to air your grievance? You go on to social media and saying, I did something illegal, look at me, you know, my name is so and so, go ahead and investigate me for food stamp fraud. I mean, that, see, it's hard for me to be sympathetic in this situation based on how it went down.
Yeah.
And like I say, the kids are the ones that fall victim in the long run. Because the kids didn't actually be here. But you know, apparently whoever it is, I've heard, and again, I did not vet it. I heard that the person that sold the food stamps had 5 kids. And I wish people would understand that Christmas is a day that's supposed to be about the birth of Jesus Christ. And if you can't get your kids to understand that, especially if you're in a situation where you don't have the means to go out and buy the bicycles and the iPhones and all this other stuff, that the Beat headphones. If you don't have the means to go out there and buy the stuff, don't kill yourself to try to satisfy a kid or keep up with the Joneses when you know you don't have it.
Right. Absolutely right.
You know, and I thank God. You know, I thank God for my boys. My 3 boys, all 3 of them never really asked for anything as far as Christmas goes. We used to kind of force them to give us, you know, 2 or 3 things that they may want for Christmas.
Yeah.
Especially my youngest, he like, you know, he was so simple to do Christmas for. I mean, he was so understanding of the fact that just because it's December don't mean mom and dad made extra money because it's Christmas time.
Right. Yeah, I think once again, it's going to come back to a deeper issue. One thing that we don't have is we don't have financial sense. We don't know how to budget. We don't know how to save. We don't know how to take our money and flip it. All we know is survival. We take that $20 and we break it, and it's gone. That's all we know. Instead of putting away for a rainy day, we know. Right now, everybody know that Christmas is going to come around in 360 some odd days.
Right.
We all know that. Who is budgeting for Christmas for next year? Not us.
Nobody. And these people.
I mean, but
they get these tax returns. They get these tax returns.
That's the thing. We can budget for it. We waiting for income tax to come around to go buy a used car from one of these used car lots, and the car gonna break down, and you ain't got enough money to fix it. Instead of taking that money, putting it to the side, and maybe getting a bus car or take an Uber or Lyft wherever you need to go. Right. Not where you want to go. We would rather spend our money on beer and alcohol and cigarettes and that costs all this amount of money instead of putting it into our children. Like our priorities are fucked up.
Yeah, and with that being said, everything that you said as far as the budgeting, the planning, and the whole nine, if there was a class, if there was a free class to where we put this out there and say there's a free class on how to learn how to do all this stuff, as far as getting your finance together and budgeting this, that, and other, nobody would show up. But the sad part is
3 people.
Yeah, you'll probably get 3 or 4 people. But and then for this food stamp fight, we had all these people pulling up to see a damn fight amongst 2 young and naive people that engaged in criminal activity. All these people want to pull up to see the fight, but you can't pull up for something beneficial. That's what pisses me off.
Yeah, you want to go spend VIP tickets to go see Gucci Mane with you and your girlfriends and your boy and your dudes out here, and instead of taking that money and going to buy something for your kids for Christmas. Like, it's just stupid stuff like that.
Right, exactly. And I promise you'll see people crying about, you know, I'm Sean, if I was able to show you some of the stuff that come across my desk, you would, well, you kind of been there, but you ain't really been there. You've been on the other side of things, but you kind of know. But if you would be, your face would hit the floor if you seen some of the stuff that I see on a daily basis. Yeah. And these same people, and I don't know who these people are that was involved in this situation on Monday. I don't know who you are. I don't know you personally. I don't know your name. I don't know anything about you. But I see these people, especially these young ladies that be having 5, 6, 7, 8 kids, and they fussing at the DCF caseworkers or whatever about their food stamps, but you won't name who your baby daddy is.
Yeah, yeah, that part.
You won't hold them accountable for planting the seed, but you want to fuss at us because you are not getting enough, and you saying you can't feed your kids. But meanwhile, you know, Leonard and Joe and Mark, they run around doing whatever they doing, and they off scot free. And 9 times out of 10, they living in the house with you.
Yep.
I'm just telling the truth. I'm just telling the truth. I know that's why they don't want to put the name out there. That's why they don't want to put you on child support, because they stand in the house with you. They giving you a little extra money to do a little bit. Long as you just don't go down there and put me on child support. And you'll be amazed. I just shake my head at some of the stuff I see on a daily basis, and it's sad. It's sad, and they keep having these kids, and
yeah.
I don't understand. If you can't afford the ones you got, stop fucking. Sean, I can't put it no plainer, right?
Man, hey, you hit the nail on the head, man.
Just stop.
Yeah.
Hell, it's toys out here that is cheaper.
Mm-hmm. Or contraceptives.
No, stop fucking. Don't even take the chance. Just stop.
Get your life right. Get your life right.
Well, Mr. Parker, when you coming back on the air, son? When you coming back on the air? We've been missing you on the air. When you coming back on the air?
Listen, I got to get through this season right now, man. I got to get through this season. I'm running for first vice state director for state of Florida Signals, man. So I'm pouring a lot of my attention into that. And then me and Barbara Tyson, we have this group called Votovis.
Right.
We're trying to educate the public on voting and voting rights, and we're trying to make a movement out of this. And so I'm pouring a lot of attention into these things. And so one of the ladies that I used to work with, my counterpart, she retired. So I don't have the flexibility I used to have at work. So I spend a lot of time at work now. And I have to get some of these things done. So probably February.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you in the meantime, I'm usually in the studio on Thursdays. A lot of times I'm not in the studio on Mondays, but usually on Thursday I'm in the studio. Whenever you free, just hit me up and say I'm free, and I'll meet you at the studio at 6 o'clock. And we come sit down and talk with me on these issues.
I could do that.
So
I could do that.
Just hit me up and let me know. Anytime prior to 6 o'clock, or prior, we'll say 5 o'clock on Thursday. Just hit me up and let me know.
Okay.
So
I will.
I got a seat. I got a chair right here in the corner for you.
Right on. All right, big bro.
All right, Mr. Parker. Appreciate you calling, bro.
Yes, sir.
All right, you have a good one. All right, that was Mr. Sean Parker. He is part of the WPMM Internet Radio team. He is on a little hiatus because he's doing some very important things in the community with his and I don't want to say the name wrong, so I'm not going to say it. But he is part of a organization that is doing a lot of community work, and he's running for one of the top offices in the state of Florida. Just check his Facebook page out, Mr. Sean Parker, and his information is on there. So, but it is time. I have spent my hour. It is time for me to get out of here, and I didn't even get to everything I wanted to talk to because we talk about this Okay, we're talking about this food stamp situation. I don't know if somebody had just tried to call. If you tried to call, go ahead and hit me back real quick. I'll take your call if you was trying to call in. I'll stretch it a little bit if you was trying to call in. So, but like I say, he's doing great things, and this situation with this food stamp situation, it was just, to me, it was embarrassing. I don't know if it was embarrassing to anybody else or whatever the case may be, or if anybody else felt some kind of way about it. But we have to do better, people. That's the whole bottom line. We have to do better. We have to do better for ourselves. We have to do better by our children. We have to do better by our children's children, because all of them are watching us. And if we keep creating havoc and foolishness amongst the elderly, or the elders, if you will, then all that's just going to continue to trickle down, and our youth is going to suffer. And all the tricks, Mr. Adam, I told you you have a you're on the show just about every night anyway. So, but yeah, I'll get you in here. Trust me, I'll get you in here. I know you be on the road a lot, but I'll get you in here. But we have to just do better. We have to do better by our children and by our kids and our society. And I'm just embarrassed for us as a people, embarrassed for, us Pennsacolians to have to endure this whole food stamp debacle, if you will. And it was just uncalled for. Tax dollars wasted. Because they had to deploy 10 sheriff deputies to that area to keep people from causing even more confusion. And it all could have been avoided by just doing the right thing. I understand that people need assistance, people need help. Sometimes people need a little hand up, if you will. I understand all that. But when you take advantage of the system, your actions go deeper and further than what you think. Your actions affect other people. Your actions get agencies like DCF to start looking into situations of fraud, if you will, where some, oftentimes, and I'm speaking because I know for a fact that oftentimes acts of fraud are normally looked over, if you will. It's not every time that it's suspected that it's being reported. So, with situations like this, now you're going to have more scrutiny put on investigating, if you will, and looking for this fraudulent activity, and the kids are going to suffer, because if you found to be fraudulent, then you're going to be taken off the system altogether, and then what you're going to do. So there's consequences to your actions. So you really need to give some forethought to what you're going to do and how you're going to go about doing it, and think about the aftermath, if you will. So, but anyway, we're looking at the last show of 2022. This is the last Truth with G of 2022 right here on WPMM Internet Radio. Moving into the new year, 2023. WPMM, we're going to be doing bigger and better things. We're growing, we're learning, we're doing different things. We're getting a different look, whatever the case may be. We're going to be doing a lot of different things in 2023 and the new year. So, look forward to that. With your own personal goals and whatever the case may be. I understand setting resolutions is what most people do. But when you set these resolutions, be realistic about them. There's no reason to set a resolution that's not feasible, that is not attainable, and you don't have the will or the forethought to carry through with it. Think out these things. And and like I say, I don't do New Year's resolutions because I do mine daily. Every day I wake up, I figure out what I'm going to do for that day. What am I going to do that day to make a better situation for tomorrow? So, I guess I do resolutions every night, to where I'm prepared for whatever is going to take place that next day. It could be something small. It could be something just simple as, sweeping my kitchen floor, whatever. It's just something small. You don't have to say, in 2023, I'm gonna become a billionaire, and right now you're working for minimum wage. Make sure it's attainable. Make sure it's realistic if you're going to set New Year's resolutions. But I wish everybody well, going into the new year. I know people are going to be doing their superstitions, and we're going to see people out between tomorrow and Saturday. Everybody going to be washing clothes. I still don't understand that whole thing. Mr. Adams, see you with that bullshiggity. He said Mr. Adams, he put on Facebook, he said you should resolve to be nicer to Republicans. No, I will not be nice to Republicans until I find a Republican with some damn sense. All these Republicans are complete idiots and assholes. And as long as you act like an idiot and an asshole, that's how I'm going to refer to you. So that would be a resolution that's not feasible or attainable at this point in time. And I was going to talk about that Republican, what's his name? George, whatever his name is. George Santos, the congressman-elect up in New York, where he lied about every single thing on his application, his resume, his background. He even lied on his mama. And nobody in the Republican Party is saying anything about this person being seated in a few days in the House of Representatives. And he committed fraud into the information about his past and his current situation. Like I said, he even went far as lying on his mom. So, but that'll be a topic that we'll talk about on Monday. Mr. Adams, if you're available Monday, I don't either via live stream. I may come in the studio Monday. Just all depends. I'm off Monday. We'll see. I'll keep you in touch. I'll keep you informed on what's going to go on. But ending 2022, it's a blessing to still be here. There's people that wish that wanted to be here to see this year come around, but they unfortunately didn't make it. So let's remember all those people who have that we've lost in 2022, all the loved ones that you lost, whatever case may be, because those people wanted to be here, but they're not. But it's a blessing that you're still here, and you have to take that in consideration every single day that you wake up and you have breath in your lungs. You need to thank whatever God that you pray to for keeping you another day and another year. So. And with that being said as well, it is Thursday that all the New Year's parties are about to start up. Friday, Saturday night, into Sunday night. Be responsible, people. Be responsible. Please be responsible. I put out a post a couple weeks ago where I said, Uber, Lyft, and tow trucks are cheaper than a DUI. Now, if you know you're going to be drinking and stop saying that when I'm drunk I drive better because I pay attention more. Stop saying that. That's foolishness. So if you're going to be out and about and you know you're going to be drinking or whatever, either get your designated driver, get Uber, Lyft, whatever you taxi, city bus, whatever you need to do to where you're not getting behind the wheel and traveling and risking your life and somebody else's life. Just came off a situation Christmas morning where 3 people lost their lives and 2 people are fighting for their lives because of people that decided to drink and get behind the wheel. So be smart. Be smart in what you do. You know, I'm not telling you not to have a good time or whatever the case may be, but don't put yourself in jeopardy. Don't put other people in jeopardy. Like I say, Uber, Lyft, taxis, city bus, tow trucks, all of those are cheaper than a DUI. You can spend that $35, $40 to even get a tow truck to come take you home. They hook the car up and you sit in the car with the truck driver and they're gonna pull you home. They're gonna charge you $35, $40 for the trip. But if you get caught with a DUI, first you're going to jail. That's first and foremost. You're going to jail. Once you do bail out of jail, that's money out of your pocket, bail out of jail. Then you got to pay thousands. You know, one DUI can cost you $30,000, $40,000 after all these fees hit you, and then you don't have a license for a year or 2, and then you know you can't get to and from work, and then you got to go apply for a hardship license so they can even just let you drive back and forth to work. You know, just be smart people. Make smart decisions. You know, I'm one of those people that I don't drink, so I'm always a designated driver regardless of anywhere I go, because I choose just not to be in that state of mind. So, but I encourage you guys to be safe. I want to see you on the other side, you know, and not mean the other side of this world. I mean the other side of tomorrow, you know. So, but I wish each and every one of you a happy New Year. Thank you so very much for tuning into the show, to checking me out on you know, Mondays and Thursdays at 6 o'clock here on WPMM. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting the show, for listening, for your contributions, whether it's just a word of encouragement, whether it's whatever it is, because I come across so many people that I would never think that listen to the show, and they'll tell me they listen to the show and they appreciate what I do. That means the world to me. You know, you don't have to pay me a dime, but you know, just for somebody to come up to me and say, you know, I appreciate what you're doing, that is payment enough for me to continue on. That's encouragement enough for me to continue on doing what I do. So I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your support in what I do and my endeavors here at WPMM with The Truth with G. So wish every one of you again a happy New Year, happy prosperous New Year, a safe New Year. Blessings to you. I'm praying for each and every one of you. I should be back on Monday. Appreciate that, Mr. John. I should be back on Monday. I'll put it out there if I decide not to do a show on Monday, but as it stands right now, I will do a show. I plan to do a show on Monday, even though it's technically the holiday for me, and I'm off my day job that day. But I'll probably come in and do a show on Monday night. So we will see. We will talk. I'll be posting the information. But once again, thank you. It is time for me to get out of here. I went over my time. But I thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, you guys be safe. Y'all be blessed. And I am out of here.
Old school talk, R&B, and hip hop. WPMM online radio.